Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. If you saw my last video on building business credit, then this one will be the next step. This is going to be an updated continuation packed with new insights for 2026. We'll dive deeper into how you can use net 30 vendors and strategic trade lines to generate a business credit score very fast. If you follow these exact steps, you can establish a solid foundation that will qualify you for huge loans and high limit business credit cards in 2026. I've personally used all the accounts that we're going to cover today, and we're going to start from tier 1 net 30 accounts, and then we'll move into a few revolving accounts as well. These will be the easiest vendors you can get approved for and the fastest way to build business credit in 2026. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, before we can start generating a business credit score, it's important to understand what a good business credit score actually looks like and which scoring model matters the most. Now, in the last video, we covered key business scoring systems, including Experian IntelliScore, Dun & Bradstreet's PayDex Score, and the Equifax Business Payment Index, along with their credit risk scores. Today, we'll also be adding the FICO SBSS, that is a small business scoring service, and many lenders use this to decide whether to approve you for business loans. Once you establish around 3 to 5 net 30s and maybe 1 or 2 vendor trade lines, you should be able to generate all of these major business credit scores under your EIN. If you're not familiar with what an EIN is, I highly recommend you refer back to my EIN secrets video. In that video, I walk you through all the benefits of having your EIN set up for your business. I also have another video about how to establish your business in 2026, and that'll be from registering your company, understanding what an EIN is and why it's important, and everything you need to have in place to start building business credit. It's the perfect starting point if you're brand new to this process. And again, the previous video to this will show you how to actually structure your business in order for you to receive business funding. So all of these videos you can actually watch in order, from EIN secrets to actually starting a business in 2026, to then understanding how to structure your business, and finally watching this video on how to establish your business credit score using net 30 and vendor trade lines. Now, with that said, let's begin with Experian Business. The Experian IntelliPlus is designed to predict the likelihood that a business will become seriously delinquent on payments within the next 12 months. This score will range from 0 to 100, and lower numbers will signal a higher risk. Suppliers, lenders, and partners will use this score to decide whether your company is a safe bet. So here's the breakdown. A score between 91 and 100 would indicate minimal risk. That is elite territory. Scores from 81 to 90 are considered low risk and are generally viewed as healthy by lenders. Businesses scoring 51 to 80 can still qualify for financing, but often at a higher interest rate or within stricter terms. Anything below 50 would signal elevated risk, making it much harder for you to secure approvals or favorable lines of credit. Experian Business has multiple scoring models, such as the IntelliPlus, IntelliPlus V2, and V3, and older versions like the Commercial and Small Business IntelliScore. The one you need to focus on right now is Experian Small Business IntelliScore. This is the standard model used to evaluate early stage businesses, and it's where most lenders begin when assessing your company's credit worthiness. Understanding this score is your first step toward building a solid foundation, because before you can improve your business credit, you need to know exactly how it's measured. Now, if you want to know how to read your Experian Business Credit Report, I have an entire video that breaks down how to read this. For YouTube, I can only have 5 videos with a clickable link, so if you don't see a link to click on the video, then check out my business credit playlist. You will find the video down in the description. You can also go to my YouTube channel. There will be a magnifying glass for you to search. You can type in things like Experian Business Report, something like that. The video should pop up. Next, let's talk about one of the most recognized business credit scores in the world, and that's going to be the Dun & Bradstreet PayDex Score. Now, this is a business credit rating that will range from 1 to 100, and it measures how reliable your company is at paying bills. Now, the higher your score, the more trustworthy and low risk your business will appear to lenders, vendors, and government agencies. Here's how it breaks down. A PayDex score between 0 and 49 is considered high risk, meaning payments are often late. Scores between 50 and 79 fall into the medium risk category, and anything between 80 and 100 represents low risk, which is exactly where you want to be. When you first start building business credit and have around 3 to 7 vendor trade lines or net 30 accounts reporting on-time payments, you'll typically begin with a PayDex score of around 80. and that tells lenders and suppliers that your business pays its bills promptly. If you want to go beyond that into the 90s, you'll need to pay your invoices ahead of schedule. On the other hand, anything below 80 would suggest a pattern of late or inconsistent payments, which can make it difficult to get approved for business credit. Unlike personal credit scores, which are often used by banks and credit card companies, PayDex scores are mostly used in business-to-business decisions. Large corporations, small suppliers, and even government agencies check these scores to gauge whether your company is likely to pay them back on time. To generate a PayDex score, you must first obtain a DUNS number, which stands for Data Universal Numbering System. This will be a unique 9-digit identifier for your business, and it is issued by Dun & Bradstreet. Now, without a DUNS number, your PayDex score can't exist. The process for getting one is completely free, and it usually takes 30 days, but in my experience, I received mine in about 5 days. The timeline can vary depending on the demand. So as soon as you go to structure your business credit profile, that's one of the first things I would do: get your DUNS number. I also have an entire video that breaks down how you can do this. I'll link that video here, but if you don't see it pop up as a clickable link, again, the business credit playlist will be down in the description. Now, let's move on to Equifax Business Credit, which is another major player in the business credit world. Unlike Dun & Bradstreet and Experian, Equifax actually provides 3 separate business credit scores, each evaluating a different part of your company's financial health and reliability. First, there's the payment index, which ranges from 0 to 100. This score reflects your business's payment history and how consistently and how quickly you pay your bills. Now, the higher the score, the better your payment performance, and the lower your risk of being seen as a late or an unreliable borrower. Next is the credit risk score, which falls between 101 and 992. Now, this score will measure how likely your business is to become severely delinquent on financial obligations. Now, a higher score means that lenders view your business as more stable and less likely to default. And finally, there's the business failure score, which ranges from 1,000 to 1,880. Now, this one predicts the likelihood that your business might close or fail within the next 12 months. Again, higher numbers indicate lower risk. As a general benchmark, you can consider your score strong if it's above 556 for the credit risk score, 90 for the payment index, and 1,315 for the business failure score. Now, these ranges tell lenders and suppliers that your business is financially sound and it's low risk. Now, if I had to choose one Equifax business score to pay the most attention to, it would definitely be the payment index. That's because it's built directly from your company's actual payment history. Now, if your business consistently pays invoices and bills on time, your score will likely fall between 90 and 100, which is excellent. But even a single late payment can drag that number down. The farther past due your payments are, the more your score will drop. And if a bill goes more than 120 days past due, your payment index could fall all the way down into the 1 to 19 range, signaling serious delinquency. So just like with personal credit, your payment behavior plays a huge role here. Paying on time isn't just a good habit, it's the foundation of maintaining a strong Equifax business credit profile. Next up is one of the least talked about, but one of the most important business credit scores out there, and that's going to be the FICO SBSS score, which stands for Small Business Scoring Service. Now, this model was developed by the same company behind your personal FICO score, the Fair Isaac Corporation, and it is designed specifically for small businesses and lending decisions. The FICO SBSS is used by banks, traditional lenders, especially the Small Business Administration, SBA, and they use this to assess your business's credit worthiness. If you've ever considered applying for an SBA loan or any type of bank-backed business financing, your SBSS score could determine whether or not you get approved before a lender even looks at the rest of your application. The score ranges from 0 to 300, with higher numbers representing lower risk. In other words, the closer you are to 300, the more confident that lenders feel about your ability to repay. The SBA actually requires lenders to pre-screen all small 7A loan applications using the FICO SBSS model, and the minimum passing score right now is 155. Now, if your business scores below that threshold, it may not even make it to the underwriting stage. My personal recommendation is having a 160 score if you want to make sure that you get approved. What makes this score unique is that it blends both your personal and business credit data. So that means your personal FICO score, along with your business credit reports from Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet, they all play a role in calculating this. The stronger your business credit profile is, the less your personal credit has to carry the weight. This is exactly why I emphasize building a structured business with an EIN and establishing real business credit accounts early. The more robust your business credit history is, the higher your SBSS score can climb, and the easier it becomes to qualify for major financing like SBA loans, lines of credit, and traditional bank funding. If you like to dive deeper into how SBA loans work and what lenders look for, I have an entire video dedicated to this one topic, so definitely check that out after this video. Now, building business credit is incredibly important because it can help you qualify for higher limits, better terms, more financing options without relying so heavily on your personal credit profile. But at the same time, with things like the SBSS business score, a lot of lenders still look at your personal credit, especially in the early stages. That means even if you're doing everything right on the business side, weak personal credit can slow you down or lead to lower approvals, higher rates, or added personal guarantee requirements. In other words, business credit matters, but personal credit still plays a major role in how you can access capital and what you actually get. And that is where Rising can be a huge advantage. Rising helps you understand exactly where your personal credit stands by giving you access to credit reports and scores, while also helping you identify negative items that may be holding you back. On top of that, Rising can help you build positive credit history through rent and utility reporting, including back reporting for up to 24 months. So while you're building your business credit, you can definitely use things like Rising to help improve your personal credit, which can definitely put you in a much stronger position when you apply for funding. You can start your trial today for $1. There will be a link to rising.com down in the description. All right, so now that we understand each of your business scores, let's break down how we'll accomplish generating your score within 30 days. To recap, you want to have at least an 80 PayDex score, an 80 Experian score, and a 550 Equifax business score before you start applying for business credit. Now, you can accomplish this by opening 1 installment account, 2 revolving accounts, and 4 net 30 accounts. This should result in 7 accounts reporting to Experian Business, 6 accounts reporting to Equifax Business, and then 7 accounts reporting to Dun & Bradstreet. Now, if you follow this guide step by step, you will have a business credit score within 30 days. I believe that is the fastest time frame that it can take depending on when you set up each of these accounts. For me personally, anytime I start a business, I set up these accounts usually right away. In fact, the same day that you set up your business, you can sign up for most of these accounts within that same time frame. However, for some of these, I do want to say that it can take up to 90 days before they actually report. So again, 30 days will be the fastest, but it can take up to 90. So currently we are on nav.com. This will be the first net 30 account that we will take a look at. This one is so important because it allows you to monitor and build your business credit scores with all 3 major bureaus. Now, at the time of recording, they have 3 plans. There's the track plan, the build plan, and the expand plan. Now, the one that I recommend that you go with will be the build plan. The build plan is $49.99 per month. This one is good for growing businesses looking to build credit with 2 trade lines. And that's the best thing about Nav. You can actually get multiple reporting trade lines from this one provider. So with the build plan, you get 5 credit scores, alerts, and reports from Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Now, the first Nav trade line that you're going to get is the membership payment. With that, it'll include the actual score monitoring. You can also get the Nav Credit Builder card, which is a second trade line opportunity. Now, this one has recently changed. There used to be a Nav credit card. Now they have this new Nav Credit Builder, which will launch soon. So at the time that you're watching this video, it may actually already be out. It's the same product, but they're changing a few things around. So then I just want to talk about this because, again, this was something that they already had, but now they're revamping it. So it is a credit builder card that rewards your growth. You can meet the all new Nav Credit Builder card with more flexibility in every swipe with no personal guarantee or business credit check. It has a credit limit that grows with your revenue. You can get cash back now on every purchase. It also has flexible repayment terms and no compound interest. Now, once this is released, which again, depending on when you're watching this, it'll probably be out already, you can then have 2 trade lines that report to all the major business credit bureaus. Now, if you were to pick any one trade line out of all the ones that we talk about, definitely go with NAV. Again, if you were to just pick one, it definitely will serve so many other purposes besides just being a net 30. The next net 30 account that we're going to look at is Credible Business Lift. Now, just like with NAV, this one will report to all 3 major business bureaus. Now, there are 2 options that you can choose from. You can choose the Credible Business Lift. You can build business credit with the bills that you already pay. They report your Credible Business subscription to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax Business, and Experian Business, all right? So just by using this will report to all 3. Then you can report eligible utilities, phone, internet, net 30s, insurance, and other services to Equifax Business monthly. You can also report eligible business credit cards to Dun & Bradstreet. Now, with the Credible Business Lift Plus, you get everything that's inside of Lift, but you can also sync your accounts to track cash flow and key ratios that lenders review. You can also see loan readiness indicators and things like that. You can also prepare strong applications to move forward for fast funding. Now, if you already have NAV, I don't think that you'll need the Credible Business Lift Plus, but Credible Business Lift would work for you. So let's look a little bit more into this. Now, the Credible Business Lift will be $19.95 per month. With that, you get Credible Business subscription reporting to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. So again, this will report to all 3. Then you can report business credit cards to Dun & Bradstreet. Now, most likely those credit cards will already report to Dun & Bradstreet regardless, so you kind of don't really need it, but you can. And then you can also have your vendor and utility reporting go to Equifax. Now, I have a video about virtual addresses that I'm going to link right here. If you decided to structure your business using a virtual address, you can report that to Equifax Business using Credible Lift. I also have 3 separate videos on how you can get your phone service with EIN only through Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. This will be for your business, and you can report those accounts to Equifax Business by using Credible Lift. The next net 30 on our list is going to be with Shirtsy.com. Now, it's very easy for you to get approved for this net 30. The first thing you'll want to do is scroll up to the very top and click Apply for net 30. Now, when you do that, it'll have you fill out the information here, your first name, last name. I would use your business email, your company name, your website, your EIN, your DUNS number. Definitely add all of this. And then you want to enter your business address, and then you'll enter some information here about yourself as well. Now, before you do this, I want to go over the actual cost of how much it'll be to use Shirtsy. Now, for Shirtsy's Net 30 program, you will be able to join for $99. So it does cost you $100 for the entire year in order for you to join. After that, you can order custom apparel on credit. Now, for me, I've gotten $2,000 for a line of credit, but what gets reported to the business bureaus will be what you actually use as far as your orders go. Now, there are 4 steps. Again, we sign up, you get approved instantly. It's fairly quick. You can then place your order, and yes, you need to place an order. If you just pay for the membership for the $100, that will not report anything. You do need to place at least 1 order for that to report. Now, for this particular Net 30, it will report to Experian Business, and it will also report to Dun & Bradstreet. It will not report to Equifax Business. However, if you use Credible Lift, you might be able to sync this account. But I do want to say, like referring back to Credible Lift, they are a little bit particular when it comes to those accounts. So I know for sure things like virtual addresses will work. And if you're doing your phone bill with Verizon or AT&T or with T-Mobile, all of that stuff will work because you can sign into accounts. However, sometimes with other Net 30s, it's kind of hard. You can try, it might work, but if you're not able to, just know that this one will definitely still go to Experian Business as well as Dun & Bradstreet. Currently, we are on A2B.com, and we're looking at the A2B fleet gas card that will report to Experian Business. It should also report to Dun & Bradstreet. Now, I just want to scroll down to the very bottom here because there are a few different accounts that you can actually use. There's the fleet card. There's also the business expense card, and then there is a brand new payroll card that is coming soon. Now, as far as I know, the actual fleet fuel card is the one that reports to Experian Business. I'm not sure about the business expense or the payroll card, but I will probably do a follow-up video in the future to let you know if both of these report as well. That would be nice to have 3 revolving accounts from one place, but for now, you just want to look at the fleet card. Now, to apply for this card, you'll click on begin the application, and then it's going to be 1 card for fleet expenses. This also does Business Credit Bureau reporting, and again, it will report to Experian. Now, there is a cost for you to actually use this card, but the pricing does change very frequently, so you'll have to sign up first and then actually get the card to see what the new price is. Now, it does look like the A to B website is in some sort of transition. So, because I saw some products that used to be there that weren't there. So this might change depending on the time that you're watching this video. It says the A to B fuel cards generally feature a $35 one-time setup fee. Now, that's what I was used to. And it also has a $3 per card monthly fee for the unlimited prepaid plan. However, it looks like they got rid of the unlimited prepaid plan and now it's just one card. There are also no out-of-network transaction fees, making it a low-cost option for fleets, and then credit-based flex plans cost $15 per month for the first 1 to 5 cards. Okay, now here's the great thing about this A to B gas card. You only need to use it one time, load it one time, and spend it one time. You just need it to report. So when you set this up, go through the setup process, get the one card, do the one-time setup fee if that's what the current fee is, and then that will be $3 for that card monthly. Just use it one time. Once you're done using it, you can close the account or you no longer have to use it any further unless you want to. Currently, we are on creditstrong.com. Now, I have an entire video on this. I'm going to link that right here. If not, it'll definitely be in the business credit playlist. But for this particular account, it will be an installment loan, and you can go from $5,000 to even $50,000 for business credit. However, this will be the most expensive one that you can possibly get. Now, one of the things that you'll see right here is that the SBA, which we talked about, requires a FICO SBSS credit score. And for every SBA loan approval, if you ever want to get approved for that, you will need a FICO SBSS credit score. And this will be for your company as long as you have at least a 155, but most likely 160 to 180 plus. That's funny. It's like exactly what I was talking about. The reason why I'm looking at this is because SBA loans are the gold standard. When they see similar, like let's say lines of credit as far as what like a loan would look like on your business credit profile, then that would be really good. Now, if we continue to scroll down, there are high one-time fees here. There's also monthly fees of $200, $400, $1,000, or $2,000, just depending on the amount of credit that you would like to have on your business credit report. And then if we keep scrolling down, this one will report to Equifax, Experian, PayNet, the SBFE, and it also includes a free monthly Equifax business delinquency financial score grade. Now, if this reports to the SBFE, most likely it'll also report to Dun & Bradstreet as well. Now, if you're looking to report like let's say a 25 to 50 month large commercial installment loan and you're looking at getting high financing from a bank, then this might be a good idea for you. But again, I would watch my video on that. I give a pretty good review on who I think this would be best for. All right, currently we are on uline.com. Now, before I go any further, I think currently we should be at around, I would say 5 trade lines for Experian, possibly 4 to 5 for Equifax Business, as well as having 5 for Dun & Bradstreet. Now, you could probably generate a score with just 4 or 5 of these, but if you want some additional trade lines, then we can look at something like Uline, which is an old one. And by old, I mean like everyone's probably heard of Uline. When I first learned about business credit a couple years ago, this was like a really big one that everyone was looking at. And also, if you've ever worked a job, you probably have seen that your employer might order things off of Uline. They have boxes, they have shipping supplies, they have materials, office furniture, like janitor supplies. Again, like most places definitely have used Uline. Now, to open a Net30 with Uline is pretty easy. You can actually search this like right here, home, help center. How can I establish credit with Uline, right? So Uline offers credit Net30 billing to qualified business customers. Invoice Me will display on the payment page during checkout for qualified customers. Submitting your first order with Invoice Me will initiate the credit review process. Now, if further information is needed, Uline's credit department will reach out promptly. Now, here's one thing that I can say about Uline. It wasn't like this in the past, but it's kind of like this now. If you try to actually establish an account with Uline the same day that you create your business, they may not be able to find you. For this one, you may have to wait until at least like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even 30 days to even try to use it. Because when they go to find your business, they may not be able to, but customer service might reach out and ask you for your business documentation. Just simple stuff like the business license, which you should get the exact same day that you actually incorporate your business. So you'll have that information, but I just want to give you a heads up about that. It's just unlikely they'll be able to find you in the same day that you establish your business. And this should report to Experian. I've also seen it report to Dun & Bradstreet. Now, the last Net 30 account that we're going to be looking at is Quill. Quill is a company that is a subsidiary of Staples. So they have everything that you can think of, like there's coffee here, cleaning supplies, paper, Sharpies, Glad bags, Duracell batteries. I'm sure you're thinking like, I could use this for my grocery order, but I will say it's a little bit more expensive than just like a regular grocery store. So I wouldn't recommend using it for that, but you can definitely find things that would be useful. Now, how you request this Net 30, if you scroll down to the very bottom, they'll let you know business first focus, your business comes first, and we're here to support you. They have fast free shipping on orders $25 or more. They also have flexible Net 30 purchase checkout that's already integrated. So when you do this, you can request a Net 30, but you need to have a payment at checkout that is at least $100 minimum, all right? It has to at least be $100. They will ask you to complete a form with your business details. You fill out every field for the quickest results. Then upon submission, you'll receive an instant decision if you're approved or not. And then once approved, you'll be able to confirm your order and it'll be shipped out. Now, if you're not approved, businesses can establish a payment history by completing their orders with a credit card for 90 consecutive days to be re-reviewed for terms. Now, Quill will only report to Dun & Bradstreet. It will also report to the SBFE. So I would say if you were able to get all the other ones, you don't necessarily need to have this one, but it is just an additional option, maybe in case you were lacking something with Dun & Bradstreet or you wanted an additional Net 30. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. So this is exactly how you can generate a real business credit score and build a strong business credit profile faster than ever before, especially going into 2026. So by now you understand the 4 major business credit scoring systems: Experian IntelliScore, Dun & Bradstreet PayDex Score, Equifax Business Scores, and the FICO SBSS. And you've seen how each play a unique role in shaping your company's financial reputation. With the right structure in place and tools that you can actually use to build your credit score, you can definitely do this very quickly and then start applying for business funding. Now, if you found this video helpful, please make sure that you subscribe because we're just getting started. We have some other videos that we're going to be talking about as far as building business credit, and definitely some options that you can leverage in order to actually make money from this. So if you're serious about turning your business into a fundable, credit-worthy company, don't just stop here. Check out my business credit playlist. I have tons of content that you can actually watch that will help you get money, scale a business, learn some operations, and if you're not sure what you're trying to actually do with your business, maybe even give you some ideas. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.